What is up? Welcome back to Softcore History. I am your host for the week, Rob Fox, joined as always by Dan Regester, and by popular demand, Gabby Montemayor is back.
I need to see those messages.
It was just one message.
He's just like, yeah, dozens of people are reaching out to us.
Dozens. No, I just sent you a screen. I'll find his name. Hold on.
Yeah.
Y'all keep going.
We mentioned it last week that she was going to be on this week because she got a DM when the dude was saying, shit, they need you, girl.
Yeah.
I got plenty of messages saying you and Rob are just enough.
No, I'm aware. I'm aware of all those messages.
It's like
too.
a marriage, you know? Sometimes you need a third.
You're inviting a third into the bedroom.
Surly Appalachian.
Surly Appalachian. This show is
Shout
for
out.
you. Surly Appalachian. We
Ask
brought
and
Gabby.
you shall receive.
And also, special guest,
My son,
Gabby's child.
my four-legged son,
Yeah.
Milo, is sleeping in my lap.
They don't care about dogs, apparently. We did an episode on Balto a couple weeks back. One of our lowest performing shows.
Wait,
in a
but
long
wasn't
time.
one of our
Fucking animals.
wasn't one of our highest ever Jake's banger history of pets?
You got to go more broad.
I think Jake's are like fish albums. Like you can just pop something and put it on and just like vibe.
Yeah, it's
you
a
know?
jam band.
Yeah,
really.
it's the jam
It's
band.
like when I
of
went to the
podcasting.
Sphere to see Dead and Company.
Uh-huh.
I fell asleep for like 45 minutes. I woke up, it was the same song.
Wait,
Did
didn't you
you-
get too high?
Yeah, I got so high.
Okay. You should have like Patrick. What did I miss?
It was a 4-hour show.
Nothing.
I missed nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great place to fall asleep, to
It
be
was,
honest.
yeah.
I
Dead
mean-
playing in the background.
The only thing that's better to fall asleep to is golf on TV.
It is,
I do that every Sunday.
It's immaculate.
Absolute
It's the best nap. If I can't
vibes.
sleep, pop on a golf.
yeah, the ambiance alone is
Oh
just,
man.
makes you feel like you're outside. You're not,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
I do that, or I used to do that a lot.
It's the best nap. A couch nap with a remote and golf TV.
Yeah.
I don't watch golf, but I do when I'm sleeping.
But you like the vibes.
I like the vibes.
Yeah. Like you don't give a shit about golf, but I imagine, did you ever go to Del Match Play?
No, but
But you'd enjoy it.
I'd enjoy it.
You would have enjoyed it.
I would go like VIP. I'm not gonna buy tickets to like.
Oh, even
sweat.
walking around was great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like there's no like lines for
Yeah,
beer.
you're
really.
just drinking outdoors.
Yeah.
That's all
I mean,
it is.
in a
love-
place you're normally not welcome at all.
I love that.
Gentlemen only, ladies forbidden.
Mm-hmm.
That was the case with the clubhouse because we used to, in the early days of TFM, Dylan Cheverry, his dad was a member there, and we would all go hit balls. And
They're like, Rob Fox, you're not allowed.
well, no, it was no women allowed in the club bar area or whatever.
I said what I said.
Okay, fair enough. And so we brought a girl intern one time, and
Of course,
that
it was
we
just
had
the
to
intern.
we had to drink on the deck, and it was like 100 fucking degrees. And I was like, oh, well.
Who was trying to fuck her? Was he the enemy? He should have put his credit card down.
Well, you put it on Dad's account,
Oh, even better.
but it was me. I was trying to fuck her.
I was like, I'm sure everyone else was pissed about bringing the intern except for the one guy that wanted to fuck her.
In
See,
context, though, yeah, Rob's raising his hand. Jack Nicklaus
I didn't.
Yeah.
would bring his wife on the road,
Yeah.
and half the time she wasn't allowed on the course or like to the clubhouse, like you were saying, and she would just kind of be driving around in a car to watch him through the bushes.
She should have gotten left and got a pedicure. Go shopping.
No
do
shit,
something.
dude. Especially
That's
like Jack.
that's so pick me. That's so sad.
I'm surprised that more.
She apparently was a deadeye too with a gun.
Really?
Mhm.
Little Annie Oakley situation?
She there's a whole story about her just popping like dozens of prairie dogs while they were on their honeymoon, I believe.
What?
Yeah, they were on their honeymoon.
But
and
why? They're like the sweetest little animals.
I know, but they were staying on a farm, and Jack Nicklaus and his wife, his newly married bride, were just popping prairie dogs
Oh my
on this dude's
God.
farm.
That's really fun. Actually,
That's sad.
I have a good history story that's just like that. That's a history story, too. I forget the name of the Yankees manager when Mickey Mantle was there, but Mickey Mantle was like a fucking lunatic, like prankster or whatever. And I guess he goes out to this farm all the time, and the farmer was like to hunt on the farm, and the farmer's always cool with it. And the farmer's like, "Hey, Mick." So Mick, they're like in the car, and Mick's like, "All right, I'm gonna go talk to the farmer. I'll be right back." And Mickey Mantle goes to the farmer, and he's like, "Yeah, of course you can hunt." And he's like, "Hey, Mick, I hate to ask you to do this, but we got this sick cow, needs to be put down. So it breaks my heart to do it, and I don't want the kids to kind of know because they love the cow. You just go in there and pop it. And
With a bat?
No, with the yeah, right.
Oh my god.
I mean,
oh my god.
it'd be just as quick.
That's something
Mickey's
you want.
bat?
That's something you want the kids to see.
Yeah.
Hey,
The
kids,
temple right in the sweet spot?
Yeah.
Time to learn, boys.
Let's see this Inglorious Bastards era. Whoopah!
Mickey gets it done in one though. That's the bear
know.
Jew needed a couple swings.
Mm.
Yeah, you're fouling a couple off.
Yeah, that's the problem. You get
Crack
too
a bat in
excited.
half.
Yeah. But so Mickey comes back out to the car and tells the Yankees manager, he's like, that fucking farmer said no. And the manager was like, really? And Mickey goes, yeah. I was like, what were we going to do? He's like, I'm going to go into his barn and kill one of his cows. And so he's like, all right, Mickey, if you got to do what you got to do. So they go into the barn, and Mickey's like, yeah, we're going to get this farmer. And he shoots the cow.
Oh my god.
And then he hears another gunshot, and he turns around, and the manager had also shot a cow because he was like,
No.
fuck this farmer.
No.
Mickey,
No.
Mickey was like, nah.
No.
So we had to buy him a new cow.
Oh my god, that's a good story though.
Yeah.
That's
He
great.
just blew his brains out. He's like, hey, this is my
Oh.
star.
He was too down for it.
Yeah.
He was too down. Like he should have got a new manager. Although I guess
No, it
that's
was a
that's
baseball manager. He
that's
was
the
coach.
cutthroat.
Yeah.
That's the cutthroat thing you want.
Those are winners.
Yeah, that's what winners
Do anything.
Could you imagine, though, your new wife has this skill set and she suddenly has this bloodthirst for prairie dogs?
They're like,
It won't
have
be
you ever seen
quenched.
prairie dogs up close?
No.
They're like the most adorable animal in the world. They just pop out of the ground, and they're like, hi.
I know. They're so cute.
And I mean, I feel like even a 22 rips its face off.
it like
Not the
shatters
Barbara
it.
Nicholas.
Shatters it.
Yeah. Like
Poor
even a
guy.
tiny bullet
Yeah.
does
he's so
what like
small.
a fucking what Goldberg's gun would have done to our faces.
That's a psycho thing. That's serial killer behavior.
It's a different time.
It was a different time.
Don't like to judge people by present standards. Maybe killing prairie dogs was just normal back then.
They didn't have TV.
They didn't.
If maybe if they had had a screen, prairie dogs would have been spared.
There's so much. That's the thing. The increase of screens is really what has decreased violence.
Mm-hmm.
The crime
Against
rate.
animals, probably especially.
The crime rate has gone down as the more stuff to watch has gone up.
Yeah. As our attention span has gone down.
Yeah,
also.
which is why now Gen Z kids don't even bang or
they don't do anything
drink or
fun.
yeah,
They don't even drive.
because they don't leave.
Yeah.
Think how many crimes like, it's like hold on, man. Let's do the drive-by in like 30 minutes. Cosby's on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
and
it
then they're just
happened.
bored.
It's like there's never going to be a drive-by during the Super Bowl.
Ever.
Like it's a cultural event.
But if your team loses the Super Bowl, then it's
I mean, yeah, especially if you're an Eagles fan
or wins.
Oh, we win.
or win.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what
Did-
losing's like.
You would. You lost like 2 years ago.
Pretty recently.
What have you done for me lately, Kansas City?
It's true. Losers.
Anyway, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/softcore history. Get 2 additional episodes every Wednesday and Friday. And this year we have 3 years of evergreen content.
How long has it been since you started the pod?
5 years.
5.
Holy shit!
August 2020.
Wow.
So 5-year Annie coming up.
Uh-huh.
Should we
We
fly
all
Jake
do.
out for
Yeah.
the 5-year?
Let's not even acknowledge Jake.
I think he'll be here in October for the wedding.
Oh yeah. Is that? Oh yeah, it's October. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. He's coming for Christina's.
Mhm.
Him and Katie are coming for Christina's wedding.
Nice.
So we'll get to see our boy.
Yeah.
We'll make him do an episode. We'll be like,
I'm-
when's your flight?
I know. I miss
Oh, it's
him.
here? I thought it was in South Africa.
It's here. There's another one in South Africa, but the main one's here.
Doing 2 weddings?
Yeah. 'Cause
Sure.
they can.
Sure.
Those destination weddings are big.
Talk about
'cause
a
nobody
pick
would
me.
go to South Africa. Like none of their friends who
No
can
one.
afford that.
Anyway, we're getting too into the weeds.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. Let's get back on track.
Let's go. Today
What is it?
we
Who's
got a
getting
fun
fucked today.
got a fun topic. We're talking about the sort of guy, the sort of Russian czar that makes you understand why Russians really didn't like their rulers.
Oh man.
But a man who also, maybe this is why they didn't like him, definitely did the sort of shit that any normal dick would do if they had unlimited power over a large country. Like, just kind of like,
Just like Big Dick and
Just-
his
this guy is
subjects.
full big dick energy on everyone all the time. We're talking about Czar Alexander III, the second to last Czar of Russia. A powerful man who, unfortunately, knew exactly how powerful he was, both politically and physically. This man was a fucking animal. In fact, I'll just show you a picture of him before we even keep going because this dude is a fucking giant.
He's a cloud boy.
A what?
Top of his head touching the clouds.
Cloud boy.
Yeah.
Is that a thing people say? Or is that a
The
thing-
Russians had their whole army of cloud boys. They had big boys.
Like just really tall.
He would have led the cloud.
He's a cloud man.
He is a cloud man. They called him the Russian bear.
Yeah, he's huge.
Absolute unit of a dude.
Dan could take him.
Dan could absolutely not take him.
I definitely could.
There's no.
Lower body looks a little little weak.
All right, well, we'll get into it, and you can tell me. So, before we get into all of Alexander's shit, we'll talk about some of his hobbies and stuff like that. He was just a weird guy all around. He was actually not even destined for the throne. His brother was supposed to be czar, but died of tuberculosis or something, and not as a child either, as like a young adult.
Oh, so it was his time. He was weak, right, Dan? He's a pussy.
This guy's kind of rad. I'll be honest, unless you're a Jew, and we'll get to that. But really, that could be anyone in Europe at this time, really. In fact, this man is responsible for Jake being an American.
This one's for Jake.
Yeah. So, like his father, Alexander III loved hunting, specifically bears. And he would go deep into the woods and just hunt bears, very much like Robert Baratheon type of shit. Just like, I'm going hunting again.
Just for fun.
I'm just going out in the fucking woods.
No screens. You got to do something.
He got by a hog.
He never got. And by the way, Russian bears, just Google like Russian bear attack on human and see what they do to human beings. And it is.
Yeah, they can't do shit to any Dagestani wrestler.
What, a bear?
Yeah, they grow up wrestling these bears.
Do they grow up wrestling these?
Not
Russian?
to mention, most Russian bears are part of a circus. Like statistically, I think it's like 95% of
bears
bears
living
are
in
the
Russia are
circus.
circus bears.
They can drive like kind of motorcycles. They could at least be in the sidecar.
They also
They jump through hoops of fire.
they still get bodies though.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
Russian
if
circus
they're not
bears.
getting paid their fair wage.
It's a union situation.
Uh-huh.
Did you just look it up?
Yeah, but apparently Russian bears are less aggressive. That they're more friendly.
Just said that.
Yeah.
They were well trained.
They're all in the circus. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
They're on a like little beach ball balancing on one leg.
In one specific hunting incident, Alexander fought a bear with his bare hands.
Bare hands.
During the hunt, it was in Belarus at the time, Alexander insisted on tracking a massive bear alone with only a spear to prove that he was a tough guy. Mm-hmm. His guards were like, fuck, like, this is not a good idea, but we can't say no to him. So, okay, dude.
It's like not even a backup gun. Like truly just
A
the
spear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So his guards set a trap for the bear to lure the bear in. The bear charged unexpectedly. Alexander was caught off guard and was forced to fight it hand to hand and allegedly pinned the bear
Oh my God.
until his guards came and
Stabbed
killed
it.
Yeah, stabbed it to death.
Was this episode inspired by recent social media
It was
arguments?
not. No. It was nothing to do with the gorilla.
How many Alexes could take a gorilla?
I think one.
One-on-one?
One-on-one, I like Alexander's chances.
Okay.
Yeah, so he I guess pinned the bear down while they killed it. This man was insanely strong by all accounts. That bear story is only the people there saw it, and they were like, "Yeah, it totally happened." So who knows?
I'll let you know if he's strong.
Okay. He'd entertain guests by taking iron fireplace pokers and tying them into knots.
Oh my God.
So he's just bending iron.
Yeah,
That's already heated.
Dan, and if you look under your seat, we've provided you with
an iron and a lighter. Yeah.
rod.
He would also, I don't even know how this works out, but he would flatten the silver coins and also take metal plates and just crush them like paper in his hands. And there were witnesses.
I used to do that at like the zoo where you throw the quarter in and it just makes it more wide.
Oh, yeah, where
You
you
just
put
kind of turn it.
just a waste of 25 cents.
Mm-hmm. Turns it into like a necklace medallion.
Yeah, that you can just poke a little hole in and be like, I'm good with money.
Now it's just wide.
Yeah. Look how good with money I am. I just wasted some of it. At a formal dinner, Alexander allegedly, he was having some kind of conversation turned argument with another noble about how autonomous Poland should be, because they ruled Poland at the time, and he got frustrated, and was because he was like, no, fuck Poland, like they need to speak Russian, fuck the Polish culture, everything. He got frustrated with the argument and was just like, just to end the argument, was like, I'm right, and he grabbed a solid silver serving tray and crumpled it into a ball with his bare hands and threw it across the room.
Is this a comment on his strength or a comment on the weak craftsmanship of Russian metal workers?
Look, you're not going to get an argument out of me. In fact, weak Russian craftsmanship plays a big role later in this episode.
Yes.
A tale as old as time.
It's like, oh, it's silver. It's like foil.
We've made Russia the big bad boogeyman forever. Dude, they've been incompetent.
But their shit sucks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Russia sucks.
They're like
buy American.
They're not even remotely close to our level.
They're a complete joke. I want to say I had a history teacher in high school.
Sputnik wasn't even real.
Honestly,
Stay woke.
I buy it. They didn't even get the good Nazi scientists.
No.
They didn't put anything in space.
That was fake news to get NASA more funding. That's it.
It was an op to get NASA that. You know what?
It's not believable.
That's the type of conspiracy where I'm like, I don't know, but
Maybe.
There's no stakes to that, so I'll swipe my card on that. I'll buy that.
Yeah, sure.
100% I'll buy that.
Yeah.
Just for shits and gigs.
Did they ever get to the moon?
Nope.
Still have
Didn't
it.
even get close. No one else has. No one else has.
India's
we did that in
been.
the 60s.
India just went.
Not with a person.
Yeah, what do you consider an Indian?
And India no one would even be mad at them if they just sent a rocket like it was one of their trains with people on the outside of it.
People running to jump on.
Yeah. And it just lands. And no one would be like, well, that's India.
They would
Yeah.
survive.
They probably would.
There's definitely a few deaths on the way. There's some people that fall out.
They don't
Yeah,
even
people
care
would peel
about
off.
this life anyway. They're on to the next life.
Yeah, this one sucks.
This is a bus stop for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are more of them not just checking out? Like, I want to come back as something else.
Right? I feel like, but then if you kill yourself, if you die on purpose, then you come back as something worse.
Become a fucking bug.
Yeah.
I guess.
Turn
But
into
then-
metamorphosis.
But then you'll just get killed again, probably very quickly.
Yeah.
And then it's another. It's
And
a
then
sort
it
of
just
a.
keeps getting worse and worse.
It's a long
until
game
you're
respawn. I don't. How can you even live a bad life as a bug?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
Well, you don't know how bugs live.
But maybe they get demoted to just like an animal right below. Like they get to be an elephant. It's like you lost human privileges.
I'd like to go fish. I'd like to do my next life underwater.
I feel like
Some sort of fish or.
that's terrifying. It's gotta be a
But
good
it's
fish.
so cool. Yeah. I mean, I'd be an octopus. That'd be awesome.
That'd be sweet.
What about a platypus?
I want to go deep in the ocean though. Like I want to see what's down there. You know.
Just
No, you
need to
don't.
know.
I just want to know.
Just start dating James Cameron.
Yeah. Get in that sub.
I would. Because you know what? If you do die, it's so fast and you're famous forever.
That's true. Yeah, those Titanic people died like fucking
It's so
that.
quick. That's
Yeah,
the
but-
thing. I would hate to die slow, even if it's old.
Jimmy knows this shit.
Yeah, Jimmy's fine.
I
You're
mean,
gonna-
Because Jimmy has real submarines.
You're gonna suffer from the bends hardcore.
I don't like scuba diving.
I don't like the ocean that much. I like deep, deep ocean.
I've never
Love
done
the
it, but
beach.
I would like to.
Yeah, I would honestly never take a deep sea fishing trip.
Really?
I get motion sick really easily
you
too.
get nauseous, yeah.
And I don't want to be out in the middle of the ocean.
I'm revoking you of your hat, you nerd.
What?
Take off your hat.
Why?
Because he gets.
You get
Barfy?
motion sickness
I do get motion sick
from a fucking boat.
Take my hat off. I'll show this fucking head of hair again for another
Give
app.
me the hat.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm
No, I'll
revoking
keep
the
it.
hat.
Dad.
I'm keeping the hat. Hat's mine, sir. You don't get to just touch the hat.
Hats off.
Hats off to you.
Alexander would also at dinner just like snap forks and shit in half just to show off.
He's so toxic. He's so fucking roided out. He's just breaking shit.
He was a big
That's not impressive.
show
just
off
annoying.
with his strength.
He's just annoying.
And I think it's because
It's like snapping a twig.
he didn't really have a great personality.
You don't say.
One story recounts him to impress.
What are you talking about? True alphas have the best personalities.
That's their only personality. It's just breaking
It's just
shit.
how alpha they are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Was my personality? I'm pretty much the most dominant fucking guy you ever met.
He's punching holes in the wall.
Yeah, I'll tell it like it is. I'm just fucking hard. I'm a fucking man, you know.
Sounds like you guys are jealous.
What, you? Are you the
Are
are you alphaing us?
No, I'm just in general.
So now
Oh,
you're on. Now
alphas.
you're on his team. You keep switching sides.
I'm here to listen to a case and make my judgment at the end.
Okay.
All right.
Good juror.
Mhm.
Are you going to 12 Angry Men us? Like if we've made up our minds, will you argue until we've remade our minds up?
Probably. It seems like a Dan move.
Are you asking if there's 12 angry men in my mind?
Yeah. How many voices are?
Only 7.
Okay.
We can handle it.
So at least there's no chance of a tie.
And that's smart.
Mhm.
There really shouldn't be 12 jurors, should there? Should be 11.
There
Granted,
should be
they all have
11.
to agree, right? That's the whole thing.
It depends on the case. Depends on the case. Depends on.
I wouldn't
probably
know.
the state
I'm
too.
never been called to jury duty because I
Oh,
am
I
not
actually did get a
registered to
jury duty
vote.
summons. I need to fucking answer that in like the next 2 weeks.
just ignore it.
I hope it's for a
It,
sweet
it goes
case.
away.
Mine got canceled. I had jury duty. I was excited for jury duty, and it got canceled.
Yeah,
so yours
but
might get canceled.
maybe I'll get time off.
Do you have nothing else going on with your life?
I was unemployed, so I didn't.
Yeah, why not?
You get
You get
a
paid.
couple extra.
Yeah, it
Coins
just
your
seemed like
way.
an interesting, like something I don't know.
Yeah.
Do it for the bit.
Do it for the story. And what if it's a sweet case?
Yeah. What if
if
it's
you
like
get a
murder? What if
a
it's the
fucking
Rainy
murder?
Street Ripper?
What if it's just like financial fraud?
I
That's-
would be like, I can't.
Then
be
he's
here for
guilty. Just kidding. I don't know.
He's just cheating on his taxes.
this. I would be like innocent. Whatever.
It depended on if I liked him or not.
Yeah, at that point, it would just be how charming he was.
Yeah.
And it's mostly a he, I feel like, in that scenario.
But I think I think I could have fun manipulating the other jurors. Like I think the dynamic.
You would
the,
fall in line
the
so
group
quick.
dynamic. No, I don't think so.
You're not trailblazing.
All right. I don't think that's
You're
true.
agreeing with.
I have soft power. It's a soft power.
like,
I'm not bending forks in half, but I'm changing minds.
The case would be totally dependent for me on how much I cared about it. If I didn't care, I would probably just go along with what everyone else did.
Yeah.
And be like, whatever, let's get out of here. Fuck this guy.
Let's go get lunch.
It's always there's
You don't get good lunch. They don't give you good food.
Apparently, that's a pretty good indicator of how the economy's doing. Right
Jury
now.
lunches?
No. Just lunch in general. How many people are going out? work?
Yeah.
Apparently,
Lunch is
people
down.
are packing lunches.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Lunch culture is dying.
I mean, because to sit in a restaurant for lunch during the work week, it's annoying.
When I worked downtown.
I'm just trying to eat.
Right now, minimum $20, right?
Yeah.
Like you're at least
For a salad and a water,
spending
it's
a Jackson.
there's just never been anything less than a $20 salad.
Well,
in
yeah,
this
because
city.
you're also not going to go out to lunch at like Chick-fil-A with your coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're going to go somewhere that forces you to spend
Maybe grab a beer.
minimum $20.
Oh, I
little
love a
lunch
naughty
beer.
lunch. You don't have to. We used to call them naughty lunches. Advertising, we drink a lot. I'd go to lunch on Friday, and then
Think
I had
you're
like
Don Draper?
Dude, literally one time I had to do a conference call, and like to dial it, I had to have one eye open.
How fucked up did you get at
I
lunch?
had 2 Mexican martinis
That's all. That's
and not a lot of food.
Yeah, that'll do it. For those who are unaware, a Mexican martini, I think 2 is the limit they're allowed to serve you.
Yeah.
Like they won't give you more than 2.
But they will leave the shaker.
Yeah.
There was like
So-
a sweet 3-week period where Grand X was kind of incentivizing us, or not really, but they were kind of encouraging us
To drink at work.
to drink at work so we'd be more creative.
Oh, that sounds very Grand X.
And then,
And then our HR guy was
Legal.
like, hey,
What time would that start?
dude, after lunch, basically.
Yeah.
they were like fair game at like 10.
Oh my God. That's
And then,
bad.
of course, Boosh, we had the
The breathalyzer race.
breathalyzer race. And
Oh.
after that, I
But
think
that's
we weren't even
content.
allowed to drink on the job.
That's
Yeah.
not true. I definitely drank on the job after that.
But HR was very much like, hey, this is a terrible
that was for
idea.
content.
If it's for content,
Yeah.
insurance should cover it.
We all Ubered home, I think. Don't really remember.
I mean, I'm sure not everyone did.
Yeah. It's fine.
They wouldn't
Anyways.
even let Boosh drink the whole cup of cane sauce.
Yeah, I was going to give him my whole paycheck if he could drink it without puking.
It was like a 48-ounce.
It was like a
How
big
big?
soda cup of
Oh,
cane sauce.
Fuck,
And apparently
that's
he would have
disgusting.
like sodium poisoning.
That's disgusting.
I think we did the
I
math.
was like, I could do like, I don't know.
No. For whatever reason, we ordered Raising Cane's for lunch.
And it
and
came in a
they were just
48
like,
ounce.
the order was so big, they're like, fuck it. And they just put the cane sauce in one big soda cup.
Because I could maybe do like a pint for a few $1,000s. I would
don't-
do a pint for your paycheck for a
Could
month.
you do a pint?
I think I could.
I think you're puking. You got to hold it down for some amount of time.
I can swallow back some puke.
That's fair.
Listen,
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
get to be a woman in her 30s without having swallowed some
You
puke.
don't drink Mexican martinis at lunch without knowing.
Without knowing how to swallow back a risky burp. Anyways, tell us about this fucking...
So, he used his strength a lot as a personality point because he was just an awkward guy. So he married the Danish princess, and we'll get more in on that in a second. And when he met her relatives, her like parents and shit, he like kind of didn't know what to do. And he was like, okay, I'll do this. And he just started lifting super heavy deck furniture over his head.
He sounds so autistic.
That's pretty cool.
He's so he's so
I'm on his
autistic.
side now.
Dan is too.
I mean, if you're getting nervous, meeting the parents and everything, yeah, just pop out some push-ups, maybe do some pull-ups.
The parents who, by the way, are the king and queen of fucking Denmark.
That's a stressful situation.
They're like, we have made a grave mistake giving this man our daughter.
You just get a pull-up bar, start knocking out, sets of 12.
They're like, oh, fuck.
And what's funny is it almost certainly did impress them, especially because
Certainly not.
really even up to that time, the Russians were like begrudgingly accepted as a powerful European
But everyone
nation.
still thinks they're tacky and gross
Yes,
and trashy.
Russia is like the backwater that like we don't want to acknowledge them, but they're just so big and powerful
and
that
like
we
Denmark
have
is
to.
Denmark is poor right now, so they need the money from
It
Russia.
was a good it was a good political move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, this dates back. Remember Peter was trying to clean up Russia?
Yeah.
He's like, no more beards. We need to be clean
We
shaven
look
like
like
the rest of Europe.
filthy motherfuckers. But they kept that basically until the present, honestly. People are like, yeah, Russians are fucking barely European, dude. Like, we don't even like them.
Yeah,
Russians
they're
are
Russian.
kind of sick, though. Like, their attitudes are very just unimpressed at everything.
They don't like anything.
I like that.
I know. Yeah, you'd vibe there, actually.
I feel like you would vibe with Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They really, they don't like, because life is such ass over there that
Yeah.
they're just like, this is good, nothing is good. There's no such thing as a good thing in the world.
But Russian women are crazy. Like I've seen a few TikToks of like how Russian women describe dating American men, and they're like, they are all pussies, and they honk at me to come out from house instead of bring me 2 dozen roses, and you drive a Honda. Like they just are so like they like a certain level of
Americans
class
are
and
bitch
taste.
boys.
Yeah, they're like, and they are
Yeah,
weak, and their
pussies.
hands are soft. At like they just, I mean, it's obviously big generalization, but
Go back to fucking Russia then.
They're hard
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
There's a reason you're here.
it's like they're all competing to be like some NFL linebacker's second wife.
You-
Like that's
basically,
what
yeah,
that's
yeah.
their type.
I mean, if it's like a Miami Russian, they're not here for normal men.
No,
Like they're here for a very
Gun runners.
yeah,
a very specific type of man.
working in sanitation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's that type of guy. So Alexander marries the Danish princess. However, her name is Dagmar, I guess, which is a name.
Bless her.
However, he was not intended to marry her because he had not been intended for the throne. His brother was originally engaged to her, but he died, meningitis, in 1865. And on his deathbed, his brother, Nicholas, was like, you have to marry her. You should marry her. You're going to be the czar in waiting now. It's good politics. Like, you need to marry her. So Alexander
Well, power is only given to those who lower themselves to pick it up.
like a piece of deck furniture, bent over and lifted that
He
shit.
deadlifted that
Cleanly from
Yeah.
the legs.
straight into royal marriage.
Pretty much. So Alexander, again, shy, awkward guy who has to do these feats of physical strength to express himself. But you can't, I guess, do that when talking to a woman or proposing to a woman.
Does he have like a twirly mustache?
He does, actually, yeah. I believe on that.
Bald head? Went
He
full
was bald, I think.
strong man?
No, he actually does look like an old-timey strongman. Here's just his face.
Yep.
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 See?
Probably could shave the whole head. But
Yeah. Yeah, he probably should have just gone full shave, but it's fine. So he wasn't excited about this because he
How
was
many
like,
singlets did he own?
you got to think under every uniform he's wearing in a photo, there's a singlet underneath.
It's
Just
probably
ready
his
for action.
preferred athleisure.
Yeah,
Leisure wear.
certainly slept in a singlet,
Mm-hmm.
ready to pop up and wrestle any assassins.
Package is fully out.
Oh, absolutely. Like, yeah, hog right there.
Mm-hmm.
But you do wonder how often in a cold Russian winter it was
You got to stuff.
3 acorns.
You got to stuff.
Yeah. I told you about the fucking guy I saw at, Thinkery, the Children's Museum. We're at the fucking Thinkery with my kids, and this guy was there wearing
Dude was
sweatpants.
hanging dong.
He was doing the opposite. You know how, like, if a guy's dick is so big through his sweatpants or something, it's like you just keep, like, being like, whoa, that is unbelievable. This guy's dick was so fucking small.
How small was it?
It was just like you could see acorn poking out, and it was
God.
clearly like there was no droop to it.
That makes me sad.
Like it was, and I just kept like,
You're talking about another man.
Like baby carrot hard.
A father.
yeah,
Another father.
another father, absolutely. I just kept looking. I couldn't look away.
Was it Elon Musk?
It was not. It was a random gentleman who was showing the entire museum full of children his tiny penis.
Was it cold out?
No, it's awesome.
What do you do if you're like, as a man? Do you know anyone personally that has a really small dick? They've probably never opened up to
They
you about it. Have they?
I mean, I've seen a fair amount of other guys.
What's
dicks
really
in
small?
in my day?
Micro,
Oh.
like this hard
Yeah,
Does that exist?
or this hard.
It
Yes,
does.
it does.
it does. I think a girl,
Like his child's dick is bigger than
a girl I dated in college.
How many have you come across?
one, and I don't think it was technical. Like it was.
It might
was
have been
just
a goof.
It was just unimpressive.
It could have been a joke.
It was just unimpressive.
What do you mean it was a joke? It wasn't a joke. She was playing with it.
No, yeah, and it was rock hard, but it was unimpressive.
Not even like a hockey puck situation. Just
I
like
mean-
no girth, no length.
It was like maybe a little bit longer than my middle finger and like a little bit girthier, but like it was like
A little bit girthier.
like it was like this. Like it was like my fingers, like I was touching my own pinky through his dick.
So like a number 2 pencil just kind of sharpened
Like a
down.
few, like a clump of pencils,
Oh
but
boy,
not much.
like 3 pencils.
Like 3 to 4 pencils.
It's not great,
Yeah, definitely not.
and also not long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I've like in the fraternity house saw plenty of dick, but like they were all pretty normal.
Yeah, and they're like mostly soft.
Mostly, like probably 40% soft.
How many dicks have you seen hard in real life? Both of you, besides your own.
I've actually never
Never?
seen another
You've never
man's
seen
penis hard
another-
in real life, to
Dan?
my knowledge.
couple hundred probably. I walk through the gym, everybody.
Everyone's just rocking
In the
a
locker room,
raging
just-
boner.
I mean, if they got a good pump in.
People at the gym take Cialis and Viagra and Blue Chew before they, get a little extra
What? Ew, that's so weird.
vascular.
That's
that's-
pathetic.
I love that. I love that movie.
They're also doing so many other things.
Yeah, that's the least poisonous thing.
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah. Oof. All right.
But just know that, like, when you're self-conscious, especially as a girl at a gym, in the free weight section, there's at least 2 or 3 guys at all times around you that's, popping a Viagra before they came. So they are probably aroused.
Yeah.
By even you.
Even you with your subpar body, Gabby.
I didn't look your way.
No, it's all up here. I'm not looking at you guys. I'm looking inside.
Fair. So Alexander, he has to propose to Dagmar.
Dagmar.
And he's not super hyped about it, and he doesn't even know what to do. So he gets blackout drunk.
Of course he does.
He's
This is
nervous. He's nervous as
worst.
shit.
He
Dude's a
sounds
bro.
like my college ex-boyfriend.
This
Just
guy's
like a fucking weird, like he's just like
being the
angry
man.
and trying to be manly in such weird ways.
He just is being the man. I
No.
don't know what
No.
we're doing here.
That's what
So
he thinks.
Alexander gets blackout drunk, and by the time he meets up with Dagmar, he is barely coherent.
Of course.
This is according to
Pathetic.
people who were there. And then they decide before the proposal as he's blackout drunk, they're like, he's like, let's look at pictures of my dead brother.
No.
So they're looking through pictures of the man she was supposed to marry.
Oh God. She probably liked him.
As he's, I think she did. As he is just like incoherent, blackout drunk, and that's when he proposes. As they're looking at pictures of his dead brother.
Oh my God. This guy has no fucking game.
But
He's so
Dagmar,
annoying.
duty bound, knowing she doesn't really have a choice in
He's
this.
Ned Stark.
And it's good for the it's good for the company, good for the country, whatever.
Ned Stark wasn't supposed to marry Catelyn.
Who was he supposed to marry?
His brother was, and then he took over for his brother.
Oh, right. Because their brother joined the Night's Watch.
No.
Oh, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, it's so
Oh, he got killed. That's
Yeah.
right. He got lit on fire. I forgot about that.
Mm.
So Dagmar is like, yes, I will accept. This is what my parents want, so on and so forth.
My whole point is you guys are dunking on this man. First off, he's
I'm
just
telling a story.
It's an arranged marriage with a woman he doesn't even want to be with.
Well, she's been dreaming of this moment. This is her only moment to be a person who's valued for being that specific person. This is like one of 3 moments this woman ever has.
Yeah.
And he's fucked up and showing pictures of her dead ex-boyfriend.
Who it's his brother.
But
Yeah.
her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
Her what's
They can mourn together.
Ex-fiance.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were engaged.
late fiance.
Sorry, it's called an icebreaker in the biz.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So she accepted. They get married. He's nervous again before the wedding. Blacks out again before the wedding.
Of course.
But they get married, and a extremely happy marriage. They were completely loyal to each. He never cheated on her.
Wow. Love that.
Yeah, you want to apologize for just shitting all over this great man's name?
Okay, the bar is on the floor.
So it's easier to step over.
Well, it doesn't matter because he picked it up.
He picked it up.
And he picked it
And
up.
he
Yeah.
bent and he tied it into a knot.
Yeah, exactly. A heart, actually.
A heart. Yeah.
He gave it to her. Here you go.
That's nice. I mean, how is he gonna pull any women? He has no fucking
He's
social
the czar.
skills.
He
He's
can just say, go get one.
the
Yes,
dude.
yeah, but like, it
You
might
go,
work a couple times, but word
"Hey."
would get around that he's fucking weird.
I run this place. You might know me. I'm on all the money.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about him is that he had, like, at this time, most kings and queens still had pretty good power, but the Russians were about 200 years behind everyone else. Like, he was an absolute monarch. And we'll get to that.
Well, some parts of Russia still are.
Yeah. Yeah, most of it. Booze was actually a common theme in Alexander's life. Of course, he's fucking Russian. During a tense meeting in the 1880s with noted nerd Kaiser Wilhelm II with his baby hand.
With his deformed hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we're just making fun of the handicap now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And
What's his handicap? What's Alexander's handicap?
Loving too much.
Autism.
Yeah,
Autism.
autism. Him and the Germans and Russians hate each other. They're having intense negotiations. It's going nowhere. It's at a standstill. So Alexander is like, you know what, Kaiser? I challenge you to a drinking contest. And Wilhelm didn't want to back down.
Took out his good hand.
Took out his good hand and took shot for shot with Alexander. Problem was, Wilhelm, like I said, nerd, not a big guy either. Alexander,
Tank.
fucking tank and a raging alcoholic.
Drank him under the table.
Absolutely drank him under the fucking table. By the end, Alexander was fine, still sober. So God knows how much he drank to get blackout for that proposal, by the way. Wilhelm
Barrels.
was again
He's
Wilhelm
boofing vodka.
Yeah, it's just a barrel with a straw that he
Yeah.
was just drinking fucking out
Just
of.
having his best buddy just like blow it up his ass.
Boofing.
Just boof some boof.
Just some boofing.
It's a butt chug.
Butt chugging vodka.
Yeah. So Wilhelm is slurring and just started conceding point after point in the argument and the negotiation. And this was not the only time Alexander would do this either. In 1891, when Russia and France were negotiating their alliance, which would last through World War II, the French ambassador visited Alexander at his palace, and to break the ice, just to break the ice at this point, it's not even mid-negotiation where he's frustrated. Alexander's like, you know what, this worked last time. Hey, let's have a drinking contest. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
And the French guy, not a nerd, but a professional, right, was like, fuck. Okay, he was a good diplomat, and he was in another country, so you kind of have to just kind of roll with the punches in that situation. So he's like, okay, all right. Fuck. All right, we'll have this drinking contest. He tried to keep up as well. Did better than Wilhelm. And probably most impressively, you know how I feel like the difference between a good drunk and a bad drunk is that a good drunk typically that doesn't like lash out or embarrass themselves regularly or anything. They just have a good baseline.
Yeah, like they don't cry, they don't fight. Like they kind of are themselves even when they're drunk.
They've set a they've set like a tether. Mm-hmm. They have a what do you call it? What was the thing in fucking Inception?
A totem?
A totem. They have like a totem that keeps them just like at a place where it's like, okay, no matter what else, I have to hang on to this part of myself and I'll be more or less okay. Mm-hmm. Unless someone gives me cocaine or something, then everything's gone. But this guy had that. And despite the fact that he too became outrageously blackout drunk, was such a pro that he just remembered what he was there for. Wouldn't concede. And finally, he just made one concession, apparently a minor one. And Alexander was like, wonderful, you're a great friend of Russia. I love you. We're allies now.
Oh, my God.
And the guy was able to, despite the fact that he could barely stand, just fucking white knuckle and hang in there and be like, we can do that.
That's a very good ambassador.
Close the deal.
That's what you want.
I don't know what the details of it were. I mean, obviously.
No, I said he closed it.
Yeah, he closed the deal. Yeah. It's fucking pro.
That's impressive. I like that. That's me. That was me. That's why I can drink and go on conference calls. I've still fucking got it.
You got one eye.
And
and
I
your whole
rocked
brain.
it. It was a tough call, and I fucking crushed it.
But as you can imagine, like I said at the beginning, Alexander also pretty big dickhole. And he had some reason to be, kind of. For one thing, kids like to rebel against their parents. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And his father, Alexander II of Russia, was quote-unquote known as the liberator. He emancipated the serfs. So obviously, he did that in 1861. Obviously, in 1862, Abraham Lincoln emancipated the slaves, Emancipation Proclamation. The serfs in Russia were more or less slaves, except they weren't imported. They were just poor people it was like the feudal, the sloppy way of putting this is the feudal system in Russia lasted until 1861. Mm-hmm. So these people were just owned by their lords, like had to work, were tethered to the land, so on and so forth. Alexander II, after Russia got absolutely fucking clowned in the Crimean War against Britain and France, was like, we have to modernize. Like, we just fought that war like it was 1680, and we can't live like this as a country anymore, or we're going to get left in the fucking dust. So Alexander II started instituting a bunch of reforms to modernize Russia, liberating the serfs, being one of them. He freed approximately 23 million serfs.
Wow.
Granted them personal liberty, the right to own property, which they did not have. 23 million people in Russia did not have the right to own property.
That's crazy.
And they were Russians. It wasn't like
they were just poor.
Yeah, they were just poor. I mean, like not that slavery was right, but I guess at least you could be like, they're not even from here. Like, we brought them here. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, they had babies, but whatever. They're not American. Like, these were fucking Russians.
Yeah.
Like white, like they were genetically the exact fucking same as every other Russian. Not that slavery's right, but I guess at least you could make an argument. You could try to make an argument that way. But
Go ahead, make that argument, Rob.
All right, so black people.
Clip it. Let's clip it.
Yeah. So Alexander also established a bunch of local governments. Like he gave local control to like local city councils and stuff like that. Established city councils. So there was like, the Tsar was still in charge. Don't get me wrong, but he took away influence from the nobility. He allowed the people to rule themselves quite a bit more. There were voting rights based on property ownership, but there were voting rights. How did
these people earn money? Is that a different episode?
Who?
The serfs.
It was a very agrarian country at that point still.
How does anyone make money?
Well, like getting freedom when you don't have money or resources or a job or,
I believe he redistributed land.
Okay. Okay.
So he gave them land, and they could start farming it or whatever the fuck they wanted to do. Or maybe they could sell the land back to the noble, move to a city, start a business there, whatever. But they were given some measure of rights, more than they had before. He also relaxed press censorship, allowed newspapers and books to be published without approval from the crown. They could still be punished afterwards if they didn't like what they said, but you didn't have to run it by them first.
That's good.
I like my state media to not be micromanaged.
Something has to be really egregious. You know what I mean?
Let the invisible hand of censorship do its thing.
Yeah. He also modernized their banking system and legal system, and there were no jury trials, I guess, or public trials before that.
It was their version of like unlimited PTO. You can take it.
Yeah.
How we respond
Yeah.
might not be so kind.
We can't control that.
It might not be good for you in the long run.
Yeah. Of course, there were still revolutionaries in Russia who didn't like the Tsar. Socialism was getting hot. Anarchism was really big back in this time period. Anarchism is, I think I've said this before in the show, it's basically like 1880s, a Gilded Age Antifa, basically. Like, what do you stand for? Smash what exists. What are you going to do after that? Fuck you, fascists! Like that type of thing.
So Eagles fans.
Yeah,
Again, you're thinking more Pacific Northwest.
Blazers fans?
Do they destroy things the
Actually,
way that
no,
you guys do?
Timbers fans.
Yeah, like MLS fans.
Timbers fans.
Okay.
Yeah. So, of course, these revolutionaries who still hated the crown kill the nicest Tsar in Russian history. They assassinate Alexander II. And Alexander III comes in and is like, this all happened because my dad was a bitch.
That'll make you hard.
Give him an inch, they'll blow up your car.
This was
or
his
carriage.
villain story.
Yeah.
His arc.
This was his Batman, except Batman kills, essentially. Now, Alexander and his dad actually didn't get along. They had political disagreements the whole time. Actually, Alexander and his wife, who were very close, disagreed with him on his stance on the Franco-Prussian War, blah, blah, blah. Alexander also resented his father, who was a very good leader for the people, but I guess kind of a dick in real life in terms of Alexander III did not cheat on his wife. Alexander II,
Philanderer.
philanderer, especially while his wife, Alexander III's mother, was chronically ill and couldn't fuck anymore. He was like, well, this ain't working.
I don't think that's cheating.
Okay.
I feel like, I mean, maybe
What
she
level-
did. Maybe she did. It is technically cheating, but like,
Sickness and health.
if I'm paralyzed, it's not. I would be like, yeah, go get fucked. I can't do it.
Well, I mean,
She's not even blowing it.
a woman paralyzed is a lot like an escalator out of service.
Now it's just stairs.
Yeah. Still.
Now it's just a flashlight.
Yeah,
It's
still there.
it's still there.
You want some more involvement from the other side.
I mean, hey, if that's what you're into,
It's not what I'm into.
Sounds like
but you
that's what
wouldn't
you're
be
into,
out
Rob.
of. You wouldn't be out.
Well, it is what I'd be into, I guess,
If you had no other option.
in a literal
You'd sooner do
sense.
that than cheat.
I wouldn't want, especially if, I mean, like, if I guess if Courtney was, like, brain dead, that's one thing.
You would not fuck her brain.
No, I'm saying I wouldn't, is what I'm saying. That's
Okay.
when I would cheat.
Yeah, I don't
Cheat.
think she would let you.
Brain dead.
No, like if she was fully with it, just like paralyzed, like I don't think she'd let you in.
I don't think that conversation goes well.
Yeah,
What if she just like sprains her ankle?
I mean she's got a whole Rolodex of excuses at this point, especially if you haven't gotten a vasectomy yet.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably afraid to make you come,
Like,
to let you
babe,
come.
I didn't want to bother you. I know it was like a lingering like 2 to 6 week injury.
You haven't gotten out of bed in 3 hours.
She's like, it's 4 a.m.
What do you want me to do?
They say like breaking your ankle is actually better than a sprain because a sprain just kind of stays around.
You know, you haven't been the same since you sprained your ankle.
Since you broke your ankle.
I'm just saying.
Wait, I
Like,
have
what were
a
you doing on
pedantic
that
question.
basketball court?
What?
Why were you trying to ball? Why are you trying to play pickup hoops?
Yeah, that's on you.
Courtney's never tried to ball in her life.
Yeah, that's you. That's what you get for playing tennis with Gabby.
Right. Why is he Alexander III if he has an older brother? Did he take Alexander?
His older brother's name was Nicholas. So I don't know why he wasn't named. Why the older brother wasn't named Alexander.
Maybe they could tell he was weak. I feel like that's something Dan would do. Like he would sniff out his firstborn son and be like,
Not good enough for my
not
name.
good. I'm gonna save.
Right.
I'm gonna save the Daniel for the next one.
Naming's all based on birth weight.
It's all vibes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're like, this one's weak. I can smell it.
You got to start playing just like Avicii levels and see how he reacts.
Does he like Imagine Dragons? If so, he doesn't get the name Daniel.
He doesn't stay in the family. If that's the case, go join a Mormon family
Right.
where you belong.
I don't know. The guy from Imagine Dragons is pretty jacked.
He is pretty jacked.
He doesn't have anything else to do.
There's no reason for him to be jacked, though.
I know, but
It's the
he's
lead singer of
I've
Imagine
seen those
Dragons.
videos.
He doesn't have anything else to
He's
do.
running. He's jumping around. And he's like sweaty and like beefy.
Aren't they sober?
I don't know. He's playing music for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a sober band.
You don't need to pop top.
But man, he does not need to wear shorts that short and that tight. But I'm so glad he does.
It's just like a bunch of moms who took their teenagers.
Oh yeah, just like I saw that video on TikTok. I was like, oh fuck, do I like Imagine Dragons now? Like that's
on mute.
That's nice to look
No,
at.
if
Yeah, on
the
mute.
baby starts to vibe and like head nod to Avicii levels, he gets my name.
Okay. Now, do you play a series of songs to see what he reacts
There's a whole
to?
playlist. Yeah,
There's
Okay.
a whole.
Well, Rory came out
it's
to
the real kicker though.
that Taylor Swift folklore, I think.
Oh, that's nice and peaceful.
Yeah.
He's
That's why
probably
he's so sensitive.
getting left
Yeah.
at the hospital for me.
That's what?
He's getting left at the hospital for me.
He's put in one of those fireman boxes 3 days into his. Like you leave the hospital and go straight to the fire department.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of those departments are volunteers, right?
You leave the tags on the car seat. So you could take second stop is back to Target to take it back.
Yeah.
There's no questions asked, and he just stays at the firehouse the rest of his life.
That's how you get a lot of firefighters. People don't realize.
You get a
that.
personality.
No, that's just they keep the babies.
They just
The-
keep the like
they become
the
slaves.
Dalmatians.
yeah.
It's unethical for Dalmatians, but not for orphans.
Look, the taxpayer doesn't want to. I mean, you don't have to pay an orphan's salary, really.
Mm-mm.
They're just happy to
Just
live
room
there.
and board. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, they're getting in pretty early, cleaning the trucks, knowing how the hoses work.
Getting in early. Oh, you mean like in the job? I was like, they live there.
Yeah.
They're not. They're not.
They can their little fingers get into the crevices of the fire truck nicely.
Yeah.
It really
they
polishes
get the
the
treads
chrome.
of the tires.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's a good gig if you can get it.
They get all the secret recipes to the chili.
Say chili. What? It's like gotta be. It's all chili at every fire department.
Chili.
All firefighters have diarrhea at all times.
You gotta be quick when, the bathroom's about to melt.
So he was pissed that his father had a long-standing relationship with Princess Catherine, whatever her last name is. It's some crazy Russian. His father also had several bastards with that child, while, like I said, his mom, the Empress, was suffering from chronic ill health. So she might have just had a cough.
She could have just had a headache.
Yeah.
This was like all part of her plan.
Oh, actually, you know what chronic ill health meant?
What?
Old.
Oh my god, over 40?
Yeah.
You mean
Yeah.
41?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the 1880s, so over 20.
Over
maybe.
20. Oh my god, yeah.
2 days after she died, his father told him, "I shall live as I wish, and my union with the princess is definite." Because 2 days after his mom died, he got engaged to the princess.
See, that's so weird to me because it's like, I mean, I guess it's for love or whatever, but like, why would you get married if you just, like, now you can just fuck anyone?
He just loved her, I guess.
I guess.
But he assured Alexander III, he's like, you are the heir. I'm not, any other kids I have, they're not taking it. You are the heir. I'm not fucking with that.
So your boyfriend or your future husband dies, you're on the apps the next day?
No.
Okay. Sounds
How
like
long?
you were.
I mean, I'd probably take a while. But if I had been cheating on
Like
him
6
with
days?
The whole time.
if I'd been cheating on him the whole time with
Morning on the
somebody
7th.
else, I don't still think I'd be like, we can't go public yet. We got to still keep this
Yeah,
on the low.
for a while.
Because like even if you didn't really love them, like there's still grief. A dog you don't like dies. It's still like, oh, that's kind of sad.
Yeah. His father did say, "I will disinherit you. You will lose your heir
If
to the throne if you protest this marriage publicly."
okay, well that's such a Logan Roy thing to do.
Right. Alexander III's reaction to his father's assassination in 1881 completely reshaped Russia. Because again, he was like, this happened because my dad was too nice.
He was soft.
Yeah. And by the way, the day Alexander II was assassinated, the day, like hours before, he had signed a law creating a national legislator. So these people were like, you're a tyrant, give us more fucking rights. And he had literally that day signed a legislator.
But they didn't hear. That was too late, you know?
Yeah.
It takes too long for news to spread.
So they killed him.
So they killed him.
Alexander III finds out that he's the emperor and immediately tears that up. Immediately is like, we're not.
We did
having
not
a
actually
fucking
do that.
Congress.
Who's the guy that got him?
I didn't look that
What
up.
anarchist was that?
It was probably anarchists. Anarchists got a lot of bodies.
And we're sure it wasn't Alexander.
It was not.
Okay.
It was not.
It was just kind of random. Wasn't like overly political for somebody else to take power.
Yeah, it's kind of good
No.
timing.
It
It's like,
was-
Dad's life insurance just got doubled and suddenly he dies the next
Right.
day. Like,
No, Alexander wasn't even necessarily wanting the throne. Like, he was in line for it, and he's the type of guy that's like, okay, well, this is promised to me, so I want it out of, like, because it's
Duty.
been promised to me out of duty. But, like, he was not raised to be the czar. He did not ever expect to be the czar.
I don't want it.
I don't want...
is that
Yola.
conclave? No?
What?
Was that a conclave reference?
It was not. No,
It was a...
I've never seen Conclave.
it's the exact opposite of Conclave. It was... not Friday Night Lights. What the fuck is that?
I don't want your life.
Yeah,
That is Friday Night Lights.
that's not. It's the James Vanderbeek one.
Oh, Varsity Blues.
Yeah, Varsity Blues. That's it.
Ah.
I thought it was Tim McGraw for some reason.
So Alexander III gets in office, and he's like, fuck all my dad's hippie shit. I am rolling as much of it back as possible.
Oh my God.
Now, the serfs had already been emancipated for 20 years, so he couldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But he did basically eliminate all the city councils and local government, all of that stuff. He issued it was called the 1881 Manifesto on Unshakable Autocracy. So he was like, I run everything. He actually even stripped power from the nobles. He was like, it's all me. I don't trust anyone. Fuck all of you. It's me and the church. He was he was a super orthodox
Very
Russian.
Trump of him.
Yeah, he was just like,
Yeah.
I'm it. I'm fucking it.
Not really. I mean, his fucking dad just got. I'm gonna do everything in my power to clean things up.
But
In-
I,
in
think-
I have all
I think
power.
in general, when there's a change in leadership, it's generally good practice to like kind of observe and to see the temperature. Like, you don't want to enact change day one. Like, you kind of want to see what you're looking at, and then you start addressing the problems as the biggest.
Yeah, here's the thing though. He had all the power.
Well, he didn't. But
He had nobody to
he
check him.
immediately started getting all the power.
He's still, I will say this.
He's a czar.
So Alexander II created quite a bit of autonomy among local governments and the serfs and stuff like that. The Tsar was still probably the most powerful monarch in Europe at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
So it's not even comparable
but
to what you just said.
Okay.
he still liberalized the country quite a bit in the 1880s, up to the 1880s. And by the way, most of it was popular. It was largely popular with the Russian people.
All right.
It was not popular with the Russian church. It was
Even though they were the only other ones that had power, they should have been happy with that.
what, the Russian church?
Yeah, that it was like, it's just me and the church are the only ones that have power, and the Russian church is like, hey, we don't like that.
The Russian church, it was easier for the Russian church to have influence if they're influencing one person and not hundreds or thousands of people who ran things.
Yeah.
So they were very much in favor of Alexander. They didn't like
Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah. So the
All right.
Russian church didn't necessarily like the reforms either. They didn't consider it very Russian
Yes.
because it's like the Loki quote in Avengers, you yearn to be ruled. You long to be ruled. That's Russians to me. They want to be ruled at the end of the day.
They need to be.
Yeah. That's really, they can be cool and like hate everything, but deep down, they want a daddy to tell them what to do.
Just like Dan. Dan wants that too.
What kind of daddy?
Imagine somebody like stronger than you and bigger than you
Okay.
and smarter than you and richer than you.
Yeah.
who
I
wants
like-
to
I
be
like
your
that.
friend
Does
and
he have
kind
a
of
boat?
I don't
you.
even think-
He's got a boat. He wants to show you the way.
I don't.
But like you need to kind of follow his directive.
Okay.
just
okay.
a bigger. I
Dan-
think just a bigger you.
Bigger, richer,
Younger or older?
a little bit older.
He's got to be older,
Yeah,
right?
to daddy.
Daddy.
Well, I don't know.
Like maybe like 12 to 15 years older than you.
Mid 40s.
Yeah.
Mentor type
A
relationship.
mentor.
Well, that's what you call it.
Yeah.
But daddy. A daddy.
Well, yeah.
Is
I'm not going to say cult leader.
Is a mentor mentee relationship the gayest non-sexual relationship a man can be in?
1,000% yes. If you have a mentor,
If you have a mentor, you're gay.
straight up, he wants to fuck you.
He's
Yeah.
Here's what a mentor.
What's
stop
he getting
calling-
out of this other than maybe he can fuck you later?
Stop calling it a mentor because here's what a mentor really is: a brain
dad.
daddy.
A dad, yeah.
He's your brain daddy.
He's
Yeah.
getting all up in you,
Mm-hmm.
He is.
influencing your mind.
He's inside of you. Every day.
He says jump, you say how high.
And Dan's down with it.
Well, I have to kind of, I guess, assess each situation independently
Yeah,
of
but,
one another.
but generally,
Yeah.
The general idea, no, I think it's pretty gay.
Super gay.
I don't even lift with other people. What are you talking about? Like, I fucking
you're
hate
like, I don't want a spotter, let alone
everyone
a
at the
mentor.
gym is a competition for me. So I want to be bigger and better than all of them.
That's my least favorite part about gyms. Like I don't want to go running on a track.
Yeah, these supportive classes.
CrossFit
everyone's
sounds
doing-
like hell.
it's the worst.
Like just bro, 5 more, 5 more.
I
Get
don't
on my
like being
face.
yelled at. I'll shut down. I start having a tantrum.
Getting hyped
like, don't
on
fucking
another
yell at
man's
me.
accomplishment.
I'm
No
gonna
thanks.
squat, but it's because I want to. Talk to somebody else. Get out of my.
You're
face.
my
Yeah, please
enemy.
Stop.
I don't like being yelled at.
Please.
I like compliments.
I also would be
I
there.
love a good girl.
I would also be like doing that pull up, like, but in my mind, I would be like,
First off, you would not be doing any pull-ups.
I would be like, you don't
He's doing it with a band.
you don't mean this. Like I could tell this is fake. I hate this.
Hate this.
Yeah, like nothing. I don't believe you. I don't believe what you're saying. Come on, you got it. You got it.
That's why I pop a Viagra before I lift, so I'm rock hard and I can intimidate my enemies.
Yeah. Like, do you?
Body
How tight?
Cialis.
Is that the shorts you work out in?
Yeah, these are kind of bigger shorts though.
I
These
know.
are-
You need something that like.
Yeah,
I
they
have
do.
I have tighter ones.
You want an erect.
yeah.
You want an erect penis, but an erect penis it has to be tucked down the leg.
You need a hamaconda.
Oh, I don't go down the leg. I usually go up to the waistband.
I go up if I want to hide it.
That's what I used to do for dances in school
Mm-hmm. When you
Oh,
get
yeah.
freaked on,
when you're grinding.
you're like, oh,
Oh,
they
yeah.
totally don't notice my boner now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, they were
They
totally
know.
into
They
it.
know.
They know.
I love it. There was boner through jeans. Nothing better.
Yeah, girls were into it.
Oh
It's-
my
You
god!
weren't trying
I
to
would.
hide
It
it.
would be like I'm like, oh, now we're fucking cooking with gas. Let's see how. Let's see how much I can how far can I take this?
Yeah.
It's that's so fun. It's not as fun anymore because I'm gonna see your dick later. Like it's like I love the idea of it. You know.
It's just something. It's so
youthful- powerful.
it's a
Yeah, because we
youthful
were like
thing. You can't-
16, 15.
Yeah. You had no idea if you were gonna see his dick later. Or
Yeah,
not.
and I mostly was like, no, I don't think I am.
Maybe
Yeah.
some hand stuff, but
Maybe.
One of my my theater teachers retiring in a couple weeks. I can't go, unfortunately. They're having like a big ceremony for him from high school. Well, my favorite stories here.
your mentor, yes.
Yeah, my mentor.
mentor.
Yeah. Oh, daddy.
Of the
He had a
stage.
giant wang.
Stage.
He had a huge dick. That's not a joke. That was like a legend that was for sure true because we could see it through his pants. An absolute hog. Like the biggest dick I've ever not seen. Like fully. But I might as well.
I hope he listens.
Me too. Mr. Murray, I love you. I do. But
He's not gonna fuck you, bro.
he had, I hope not. I couldn't recover from that. Are you kidding me?
That'd be
It's the
scary.
last person I'd want to fuck me. Be paralyzed. Courtney would start cheating on me. Call back.
With that guy.
I think she'd be fine. I don't think she'd cheat on you. I think she would just give up sex for a very long time.
Probably, to be honest.
With 3 kids right now,
Just
yeah.
even
How
dating with
how
that.
much sex are you even
You
having?
dating and it's you have 4 kids at that point because it's 3
Yeah.
children and an invalid.
Yeah, that's 4.
Yeah, there's 4. We just sell the dogs. At
And
that
we know
point.
how many
There's-
times you would poop your pants every day with the amount of bowel movements
She
you
actually
have.
would leave me because the diaper changes would be. She would
Your
be like,
diet would have to change so much
Yeah.
instantly.
She would be like, "Have you like doctor? Can we give him a colostomy bag?
Yeah.
Can we do the
Can
surgery?
we proactively do this?
Yeah." But Mr. Murray told this story about how he was not MC, but he was working at a high school dance one time, like a mixer. And like he was just one of the teachers there, had to work it. And, you know, you have to stop kids from freaking on each other and shit.
I got that shoulder tap.
And he went to do a shoulder tap. And what he didn't realize
Oh, no.
was that it was,
Penetration?
yeah. And
No.
They were fucking on the dance floor.
That's so gross,
he
actually.
pulled them apart.
Ew. Is it
and-
like dogs or like ducks where they have like a corkscrew dick and they can't be separated until they're
right.
done?
No, he pulled them apart and got blasted on.
Ew, no!
Proud of the kid for finishing.
You know,
Don't let
you
any
know,
adversity
they did not even
stop
oh,
you.
That's so disgusting.
Oh, the 90s were a
That
magical
girl,
time.
That poor, I wonder where she is. I wonder how she felt about herself that day. Because, like, it was
By the
probably
way, this is
three strokes.
This is a private Catholic
It was
high
3
school.
strokes.
Yeah.
There's,
How do you even last that long? At that age?
yeah.
15?
Yeah, it's not lasting long. You didn't need to pull it out to come, also.
That is wild, being surrounded by your peers.
And just being like, this is the time. In the place where
Were
you
they
eat,
in a corner
where you
or
eat
something?
lunch every day.
I don't remember all the details of the story beside him getting blasted on.
That's
to
all
be
you
honest.
need to know.
I mean,
That's-
I've definitely seen some weird shit like at Panama City for spring break where people were just fucking on the beach. But that just seemed like.
But that's where
to be
that's
expected.
appropriate. That's
Yeah.
spring break. It's not a school dance.
Right.
a Catholic high
Yeah,
school
exactly.
dance. Yeah, the 90s, man.
What about the 90s?
What?
What about the
The
90s? dude?
90s, man. It's when shit got wild.
I was like 9 after the 90s.
At the end of the 90s, yeah. I'm the old one here. I wasn't in high school in the 90s, just to be clear. I started high school in the year 2000. Literally, in the
That's
year
cute.
2000.
That's fun.
So he also, Alexander, the opposite of defund the police, he extra funded the secret police.
Of course he did.
And they just fucked up everybody. And he was real anti-Jewish. So anti-Jewish that pogroms broke out the day he got the crown.
Well, did the Jews kill his dad?
Maybe.
Is there a loose connection there?
Well, a lot of Jewish people in Europe were anarchists. They had a lot. Essentially, it's not because they're Jewish, but it's because anarchists and communist socialists, a lot of them were college students, and a lot of Jewish people went to college. So there's a lot of overlap.
Ipso facto, the Jews did it.
Yeah.
No, obviously Israel didn't exist at this point.
No.
So, but the Mossad was still around. all right?
Right.
So the cops are rounding up who?
Everyone but
Yeah.
Jews too.
The Jews.
He took away a lot of Jewish rights too, about like owning property and stuff like that.
So that he reinstated a different slavery.
In fact, his anti-Semitism was so bad that it caused the massive immigration of Russian Jews to the United States.
Wow.
Hence what I said earlier.
Oh,
This one's
all
for
right.
Jake.
This one's for Jake.
I'm out on this dude. now.
Alexander III. If it was not for Alexander III, Jake would have never hosted this podcast.
Wow.
Maybe we're more successful.
Oysters did what Alexander III couldn't. Keep Jake away from us.
Yeah.
So now it gets to the ultimate story about Alexander's life. It just sums up him and Russia as a country in a nutshell. The Borski train disaster. On October 29th, 1888, the imperial train carrying Alexander III and his whole family,
It's always a train.
always, was leaving Crimea, heading to St. Petersburg, and it derailed near Borski Station. The train had 15 carriages, was pulled by 2 steam locomotives.
I'm sorry. What is this?
I'm sweating.
You just pulled out a fan?
Yeah. What
You have
about
a fan?
it? Yeah, we live in a hot place and it's fucking awesome.
I can't just let this go, though.
Feels
I'm
good.
so sweaty right now and it feels so
That's
good.
funny because this place is usually freezing
it's hot
fucking
in here,
cold.
right? It is so hot.
I'm
It was.
normal.
I turned the air on when I got here.
Heating pad on me.
But
Whatever, Dan.
interesting.
You do have that dog on you, which has not moved. Is it alive?
Yeah, he's alive.
Is my
He's
Is that like
farting-
a
he's
geisha
farting on me.
fan? What is that?
What?
Yeah, it's a
I-
geisha fan,
I got it in Europe. I don't know.
but it's
Japanese
very much
themed?
Asian.
Yeah. It's great. You want to try it?
Yeah, I'll
That's
try it.
stolen
I'll
valor.
fan myself here. We took a lot of things from other people.
Yeah.
That's nice. You can give it a go?
Give it a
That's
go.
pretty nice.
Yeah, I'll just hold on though for a second.
It's also like I feel like a
Oh,
a
God.
Southern church thing.
Dan is such a fucking dick.
Wait, is this your totem to make sure
Yeah,
you're
I make sure
awake?
I'm in reality. Yeah.
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 Because I'm
She's slipping
in
now.
perimenopause.
The dog doesn't work. So the train had 15 carriages and was pulled by 2 steam locomotives. It was traveling at a high speed and it derailed at 2:14 p.m. 21 people died instantly.
Not unbreakable.
It's more than India numbers.
Yeah. And 2 more died later. 68 were injured. There is a rumor, not confirmed, but a rumor that Alexander was drunk and or demanding the train go fast as fuck. The former
I want to go fast.
Former is a rumor. The latter is true. The train was fucking flying for its weight.
We're going to break some land records.
So,
Also, he's certainly drunk. He's an alcoholic.
right. Like they were like,
Why
well,
would you be on? It's like an alcoholic is going to be drunk on a flight.
we like to say whatever you think an alcoholic is today was a normal person in the 1880s.
Yeah.
And whatever an alcoholic was in the 1880s is unfucking fathomable to modern society in the United States of America.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, all I'm hearing is this guy being the man.
Well, you're going to love how this story ends.
So all these people die because of this fucking
So
drifting train.
the commercial limit for passenger trains at that time was 42 axles. The Imperial train had 64 axles.
no.
And it was traveling at express speeds. And again, it was hauled by 2 engines. The Russians knew that the train was also technically fucked up for like a decade, but just never fixed it.
Oh no! It's
Which
like when
is-
I get my oil light on
And you just
drive
let it ride.
forever.
Yeah. Which is very Russian. And here's proof that Alexander...
Why every time you come in for an oil change, they charge you $300.
They're like, this is a nightmare.
I have learned my lesson, but I used to do that a lot.
No, not even that. They
That's why
just-
my old Mini Cooper died.
They know
That's-
exactly your like knowledge on cars, and
Yeah.
they're just like, we're gonna bend her over.
Yeah.
Oh, I
know.
feel the same way. I walk in and I'm like, hello, I'd like... They're like, this fucking pussy.
Thankfully, my mentor taught me enough about oil changes.
Your brain daddy?
Not with cars, but
Yeah. He gave you a few.
Mhm.
Good for him. Good sex with you.
Showed you his dipstick.
that's the
Your air
That's
filter.
the
that's the
gist of it.
joke.
Your
Yeah,
air
yeah.
filters are
Yeah.
filthy.
Air filter, probably the mouth, I guess. Yeah.
Your asshole.
The asshole's the oil change.
Oh, okay.
The dipstick.
No, the oil changes peel.
The what?
It's a peel.
Oh, he's sounding you?
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord.
Ow.
You don't know what an oil change is?
I thought oil change, check me for oil was,
Certainly not your pee hole.
I thought it was your
It's your
butthole.
pee hole.
Boy.
So the train is careening.
Would you ever sound a man?
Is that putting what in the pee hole?
A metal rod?
No.
Even if you loved him?
Why would I do that if I loved him? Is he
Because
asking
wanted
for
it.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You do have to anesthetize it first. You have to get like some Novocaine for the penis.
No.
It's the weirdest request you've gotten. A finger or two?
Yeah, I mean, but that's not that weird. Oh, wait, in a finger in a pee hole?
No.
Oh, I was like, what?
I have seen that video as well, but
I don't know. Nothing that weird, I guess. Everything pretty,
just some butt stuff.
pretty front page
Yeah.
porn stuff.
That's fair. I feel like that's how most people live their lives.
Like, I wouldn't get to a place. Like, if somebody had like a very niche, that like they just need to be with other people with that
With
kink.
the niche, yeah.
Yeah, like it's like you can't just bring
You
that
can't
up.
you can't have a normie
No,
bring it in.
no.
But maybe they're like vampires, right? They just want to convert more and more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not your girl. I'll tell you that right now. I'm a quitter. I'm not gonna do
You're like, I'm out.
crazy fuck stuff.
It's funny. There was like an episode of Sex in the City in the 90s where I think Miranda was like, I don't want to eat this guy's ass.
No, there was no.
There was ass eating.
No.
Yeah, I remember it. Because he was eating her ass. And she was like, I guess I'll deal with it. I don't really like it. And
No,
then he was like,
she didn't want to kiss him after he went down on her.
no, there's another one with ass eating.
I'll have to find.
We're
it.
not arguing about
I've seen
20-year-old
them all.
TV
I don't
shows.
remember that.
Please.
I'm just saying.
I wouldn't eat ass either.
I've
You would
hated
need a-
every
you would need
one
a
of these
man's ass?
references.
No.
I don't blame you.
I wouldn't even put a finger in there.
You don't want to go there.
I just know how much time you'll spend on the toilet. Like, it's just a lot of time.
I'm quick.
I'm quick.
I hang out.
Men hang out because you're avoiding life.
Yep. No one can talk. No one can give you shit when you're in the toilet.
What's so wrong with that? Some peace of mind.
Yeah. It's the only freedom I have left.
All right. You'll pay for it in the fucking...
So he was very into the speed.
Mm-hmm.
Alexander was. 2 months before the crash, he actually got upset at one of the railroad commissioners, Sergei Witt's, insistence that the train was always going too fast. And
He fired him.
no, Alexander III was basically like, my train goes fast just fine on every other road. You don't want it to go fast on your road because you have a Jew road. You're a Jew, and your Jewish road can't handle my speed.
Oh my God, that's so stupid.
I don't know if he was on a Jewish railroad when it derailed, but it couldn't handle his speed.
I sure hope he was.
Yeah.
Actually.
But here's where Alexander comes out a hero in this story, where he definitely got 23 people killed.
Mm-hmm.
He saved the conductor.
Close. As the train derailed, and they were all having lunch at the time, the royal family.
Oh, it interrupted lunch.
Yeah, the roof of the dining car collapsed, and this bear of a man lifting deck furniture and all other manner of things above his head, like a goddamn superhero.
Like Spider-Man with the webs.
Yep.
Holding on for dear life,
Oh,
trying to save the rest of the
He
train.
held the fucking beams of the collapsing roof up so his family could escape unharmed.
He's a hero.
And that's where we get the phrase, raise the roof. It was a party.
The Romanovs' survival was hailed as a miracle, and obviously Tsar Alexander III was hailed as a hero for doing it. However,
You know, and they went on to do great things, Romanovs, right? Like, definitely didn't end poorly.
you mean with his son, Nicholas II, who was the last Tsar? And by the way,
So this was all for none,
this train accident
because they end his bloodline
probably
pretty soon after.
You're right. This train accident probably did and is what caused his bloodline to end, because he died, Alexander III, in 1894 of kidney failure, and that kidney failure was linked to, he was injured in the train accident from the roof, from holding up the roof. It damaged his kidneys, and he never recovered, probably kept drinking.
Maybe not all the alcohol. You think that didn't help?
Well,
Probably processing all the protein as well.
when
The
your
protein.
when your
For the
kidneys
gains.
take a blunt force trauma
Oh, then
and
they
can
stop
no longer
working.
function with the amount of alcohol you're drinking.
Then they go into failure.
Yeah, so he died at the age of 49 in 1894. His son, Tsar Nicholas II, would succeed him. He was killed by the Bolsheviks in 1917. They succeeded him. Had Alexander III, this hard-ass motherfucker, not had that train accident, he would have been 69 at the
Nice.
outbreak of World War I and 74-ish, 74, 75, when the Russian Revolution happened. Who knows?
Could
how
have ended
different
pretty differently.
European history would have been if if that train accident had not happened, if he had not had the kidney failure, and he's dealing with these motherfuckers. By the way, one of his,
Instead of his pussy ass son.
even though he was a badass and hunted bears and all this shit, he actually, one of his biggest accomplishments, good accomplishments, I guess you could say, was they weren't in any major wars during his
That's good.
reign.
People
No
were too
European
scared of him.
wars or anything like that. So who knows what would have happened with Russia entering or not entering World War I had Tsar Alexander III still been in charge, or maybe it would have been handled more competently.
He could have dealt with Lenin.
Could have dealt with the communists. There are a lot of what ifs if Tsar Alexander III lives into old age.
We don't get to the moon.
Things could
There's
have been
no reason.
different. We would have been different. But
We
we
don't-
would have never gotten raise the roof. So I think it all worked out as it
You
should.
got to level it out. That is the story of Tsar Alexander III. What'd you guys learn today?
Pour one out for him.
I learned that this guy is just a fucking meathead show off who can't just chill. Why don't we
he
just-
had no chill.
Why don't we just go at the normal speed today, honey?
Seemed pretty chill. Lifting furniture over his head. Getting drunk.
Dan really resonates with our hero today.
He's just one of the boys.
Kinda.
Kinda.
Likes to. He's himself. He's unabashedly himself,
Had a bit of a villain arc because his dad gets murked.
and he takes away all the rights of the Russian people.
Mostly Jews, but
That was a win for America. Like
Yeah.
For Hollywood? For movies,
Think about it.
for the weather, for everything.
Who's today's Hitler?
I'm going to go with the anarchist that took out his dad.
Alexander is the Hitler.
Alexander III?
Yes,
Why? What did he do?
because he did a lot of Hitlery stuff.
He was on a train. So what?
He's on a train. He's deporting Jews.
Hitler did not deport Jews.
Yeah, they wish. Kind of literally.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it's him.
okay. I do like the take of it's the people who assassinated Alexander II. Like, literally getting the best you've ever gotten. And they're like, not good enough. This will only work out in our favor. And it worked out so badly.
Just doing the best with the hand he got. Just dating his fucking dead brother's ex-girlfriend.
I like that proposal story.
I like that he didn't cheat. I
Never
like that he
cheated.
was
He
Loyal.
didn't cheat.
loyal. At the very least. You can't say he wasn't loyal.
Yeah,
And his dad was just having his cock around town.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon
As
as his
one
wife
does.
got a cold, he was like, "You're sick. I'm banging."
Gotta do what you gotta do.
But, I mean, there's precedent now for you.
Yeah. Courtney is sick a lot. And I do count pregnancy as sickness.
Just keep pumping her full of babies.
Yeah, exactly.
No more.
No.
That's
no.
enough.
Go for the girl.
We're so
Stop it.
We're so fucking done.
Stop it right
Basketball
now.
team.
I literally just
That's
Content
enough.
farmers.
Speaking of sounding, there's just a coffee stopper in my penis right now.
You're just like, yeah.
At all
nonstop.
times. Yeah.
Just track her cycle.
Ugh, it's not worth the risk.
Don't
Yeah.
come when she's ovulated.
It's not
No.
worth the risk.
No, we need you to get vasectomy. That's content.
Yeah.
Sorry you don't like to play with the odds.
I don't.
Because all the odds show that he's gonna lose.
No, he
Also,
keeps pumping her full of babies at the right time. He knows when to do it.
It's like
If
it's
you
like,
get rich, if everything works out, you can do whatever you want.
it's like minus 10,000 odds though, right? Like if I
Yeah,
win,
it's not so
I
good.
make very little money, and if I lose a lot of money.
Exactly.
There's like a 5-day window you can't come in your wife. And you can't
It's
seem to
5
figure it
days
out.
every 20 days, more or less. It's like 25
You do
days.
the math.
Yeah, it's not, I don't know. It's not great. I
Yeah.
think you should just get a vasectomy.
I'm gonna do that. Don't worry.
You're going to mutilate your penis.
Yeah. Well, my vas deferens.
His dick's going to be fine.
Yeah.
It's
Snap
not
it
going to be
down.
fun.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
It's just I'm anti-TRT and I'm anti-vasectomy.
Vasectomy?
Yeah.
Well, then you don't have to do
You
it.
need to be natural.
His body, his choice.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you told her that. TRT is
Gender affirming care.
yeah.
Yeah, it's testosterone.
Billy
Yeah.
McCusker
Yeah,
said that
that's
first.
gender affirming care.
Yeah, you're affirming your male.
So is Botox. That's gender affirming care. Breast implants, gender affirming care. Sorry you can't grow fat naturals like some of us
Right.
on this table.
You got to
Like
go
me
all
and
natty.
me and Dan have got great tits.
I got great tits.
Perky, firm, a handful.
Great ass too.
I worked for it.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got for today. For Dan Regester, Gabby Montemayor, and Milo Montemayor, I'm Rob Fox.
Check out our Patreon. Gabby, where can the fine folks find you?
Gab Monty, if you like me, and don't if you don't.
Cool. Well, you just got soft served.